Big deep breath in. Right. We are joined here today with Jacob Blyth. Blythy, because Jacob is reserved for mum and wife when he's in trouble. So
Yes.
Blythy to everyone. And we're really excited. We've spent the day together already where we've done some training. All of us are kind of coaches in our personal and business lives as well. So we've had a good day training. We're fresh out of a sauna. We did some grounding. We've done some breathing. You boys have ate. I haven't. I'm starving. And we're ready to have a really exciting conversation. A conversation we kind of discussed a few months ago now, and we're very lucky to have you here today. We're very grateful you've come down to spend the day with us, and we're really excited to hear your story. And it's really important to us that this is your story. And I know it begins with football and meanders into television, into business, into fatherhood, into lots of different things. And we're really excited to have you here today and to let you just tell it how you want it to be heard.
No problem.
So,
Sounds good.
Blythy.
Well, first of all, thanks for having me on, guys. It's a pleasure to be here. So where do I start with this? Started football very early age, as we all did. Very funny story, actually. When I was about 5 or 6 years of age, I seen how much my dad was obsessed with Liverpool, right? So that had a knock-on effect on me. So obviously, your dad loves Liverpool. You're naturally going to love Liverpool. But 5 or 6 years of age, going to the soccer camps, Man United scout was there, lived in Manchester at the time. Man United scout was there. They're like, yo, lad, come for a trial. Went for a trial at Man United. And my dad instilled into me at that age how much Liverpool hated Man United. I went to the trial and I had to put on a Man United kit. Yeah. And I remember feeling physically sick. Like, I couldn't move. Like, because he told me how much we hate Man United. I froze and I started crying. I felt sick because I was wearing the kit and we had to leave. So yeah, cheers, Dad. I could have been part of Class 92. But yeah, that's my earliest memory of football. I know we like to get that one out there.
So trauma in football started immediately.
Yes, immediately. But I wouldn't have it any other way up the Reds. But yeah, no, that's my earliest memory of football, and you know we're all obsessed with it as a kid. Lived and breathed it. Playing outside with the kids every single day, trials here, there, and everywhere. And then moving into the kids side of things, so we're talking from under 11s right through to under 15s with a team called Yenton Warriors, with a manager called Alan Griffiths, and he formed this team, played for them, we were winning the leagues every year, etc. And then moving into the good stuff now. So we went into adults football, and I was 15, 16 years of age, and he said, I'm going to form an adults team. I'm going to call them Bermuda. So when you form a team, you have to start, I don't know, is it like step 15 or whatever it is? Like
yeah.
rock bottom, like right at the very bottom. And I was a centre mid at school. And then year 11, I just went, grown loads, went back to centre back. And then that season, my first season in adults football when I was 15, he went, you've got a bit of technical ability. Do you want to play up front? And as a kid, I'm like, yeah, go on, whack me up front. I'll score loads, blah, blah, blah. So I've gone up front that season. And you know what? This is what I've told a lot of academy lads at pro clubs. It was one of the best things that ever happened to me going straight into adults football at 15, because I'm a 6'2" centre forward and I'm getting battered by these 35-year-old men. You know what it's like at that level. They want to scrap. You're getting elbows to the head every game. And it toughened me up, and it taught me, like, this is the physicality that I need to play. Like, chatting to my dad. Dad's obviously a massive inspiration with my football. He was just like, knock him back. Give him a bit back. Leave an elbow on him. So at a very early age there, I'm learning this physical side to it. And going up for the non-league ladder, if you're physical, you've got half a chance. Mm-hmm. Anyway, that season, scored over 30 goals, won the league and the cup, done really well. Jumped 5 leagues the next season to Nuneaton Griff in the Midland combination. I actually set a new record. I don't know if this actually stands. I need to get this out there. So on my 17th birthday, scored a hat-trick in the FA Cup preliminary round, whatever it is. And then in the same week, scored a hat-trick in the FA Youth Cup, and it made it in the FA Cup final programme. That's it. Chelsea Pompey. Remember that 2010? And it was like, records show that only like Daniel Sturridge has come close to it. So it was round about this age. I was like, look, I know I'm half decent here. I've got a bit of a chance. You know, I'm 6'3" centre forward that wins all his headers, can hold it up, half decent first touch, and scores a few goals. So yeah, interest just kept on growing and growing. Bearing in mind, I'll be completely honest, my routine at this age, never stepped foot in a gym. I'd be out on a Friday night with the lads getting pissed, fake IDs to get in clubs. Saturday, play, score, win. Out Saturday night, Sunday, playing Sunday league football, play, score, win, poker all day Sunday. That was my weekend for an entire season when I was 18. And you take that with you. And once that's embedded into you at a young age, it's hard to come away from it because that's seen as your normal. And if every other player is doing that then at that very early age, like I said, it's just completely normal. And I feel like probably should have grown up a bit when I was about 23, 24. But because, like I said, it was just normal to me. It was just something that I'd done. And I obviously really enjoyed it because I was playing well. I had no injuries at this age, never been in a gym. I was just flying. The world was at my feet. And I just kept like, at that age, it was like jump 5 leagues, jump 2 leagues, jump 1 league. I'm working my way up the non-league ladder, and it was just all roses and gold. It was like time of my life. So then it comes to signing for Leamington. I'd done a stint at Bedworth United, then I went to Leamington. Sat on the bench for a couple of games. Bearing in mind, 3 seasons ago, I'm about 8 leagues below this. Come off the bench, scored a winner, never looked back. The end of that season, Paul Holleran, he's still manager now. Paul Holleran? Remember him? No, he's like longest serving manager in Football League or something in the whole of football. Yeah, he's been there about 20 years. He said to me, I had a lot of interest from teams higher up, like Conference. These teams were like full-time. And he just said to me, if you stick with me for one more season, you will bypass all them. And my phone was blown up. I didn't know what to do. These teams were like, come and play with us. You're going to be training Monday, Tuesday, but at full-time. And it was just like, oh, this sounds so good. But it was like, I promise you, play week in, week out. For me, I think it's step 3 at the time. With all your attributes, you'll bypass them. And I was like, okay. He's like, you're the youngest player in the team. I'm going to make you the highest paid. I was like, okay, let's do it. Loved it there. Mum and Dad loved the club. Got nothing but good words to say about Leamington. So I played that season at Leamington, halfway through, doing well. And then Birmingham come in. They spoke to Paul Holleran. They were like, oh, lovely lad up front. Can he come in for a trial? I was like, he just said, yeah, go for your trial. So I had 2 weeks at Birmingham, and that was my first real taste of the pro game. Like I went in and I couldn't believe that lads had the boots clean for them, had food in the morning, like your kit laid out. Like I was just like, what is this? This is unbelievable. Like everything's like done for you. Train with them once, and then it was like, right, we've got Southampton away tomorrow in your little trial game. Let's see how you get on. I went there. I wasn't nervous. My mindset was just like, I'm going to absolutely smash this. I know I've been playing against men. These lot are playing against kids. I'm going to physically do them here. That was my mindset. First game, I can lob the keeper 35 yards with my left foot, 1-0. I think we drew 1-1 the game. So I'm like, good start. Let's go again. Played another friendly at home. The manager, he said Chris Hooton. He was like, he wants to come down and watch you. He loves the clips. I think we played Shamrock Rovers at home in a friendly, drew 0-0. Didn't do amazing, didn't do terrible. But one thing that stuck out for me with these games was I've been used to 4-4-2, long ball, diags, physical battles, and these boys are playing out from the back. I've never been coached to pull off your man, come to feet. I've never been coached to go into the space, get the ball turned. Like these tactics, I've never been coached at. I didn't have a clue. So I was a little bit lost, but anything in the air physically, I was effective in both boxes. So yeah, played the games. Like I said, didn't do amazing, didn't do great. And he pulled me after and he was just like, look, you've got great raw ability. I can see you're physically strong, but at the moment, I can't sign you because I've already got a player in your mold. Now, this is going to sound quite funny. So I said to him, all right, no problem. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Loved it here. Who's the player? And he was like, Nicholas Zigic. And I was like, all right. He was about 6'7", weren't he? Like big lad.
Yeah.
So back then, I'd never seen footage of how I played or how I looked from the side. We never had clips of how he looked. And that really got in my head. I was like, in my head, I'm smashing fullbacks. I'm mobile, I'm running in behind, I'm going for it, do it here, there, and everywhere. And he's compared me to him, and that stuck with me for ages. And all the lads at football, Zigic and all this, like bantering me. I was like, am I actually like a lad just like, is that me? But yeah, that was banter anyway. So yeah, season went on, lost in the playoffs. I went back to Leamington, lost in the playoffs. Just before that, I was walking out to a game. I'll never forget it. We had West Brom under-21s in the Birmingham Senior Cup. And the gaffer pulled me. He was like, Jacob, I won't normally do this, but I feel like you can handle the pressure. I was like, what? He's like, there's some fucking big hitters here watching you today. Got 3 or 4 gaffers watching you in the stands. I was like, thanks for telling me, gaffer. Went out there. Yeah, they're a pro club. They're all good technically. But in my mind, again, I'm thinking, I've been playing against big, strong men. I am going to bully these kids. I was 19 at the time. Like, these were 19 as well, 20. So I went out there and I just bullied them all off the park. Like, they couldn't get the ball off me. I was holding them off. I was winning all my headers. I was holding everything up. I had pretty much a game of my life, like, unbelievable. I think we won 2-1 or something. End of the season comes. Now my phone's going off. I had 6 or 7 teams from the Conference Prem, Step 1, Step 2, load of full-time teams. Like I said earlier, I'm a tall lad that can head it, that's young. Every team wants a target man, especially a young lad. And I didn't know what to do. I said no to every single agent, 6 or 7 agents trying to sign me up. I just wanted to do it myself. And then I'll never forget it. I was working at the time I was working full time at engineering company. I was biking to work in my steel toe caps and playing a match on the evening, biking back. And then I've just got the bacon butties in for the office and my phone rings and it's the gaffer and he's like, what are you doing? I was like, oh, I'm just at work. He was like, just stop what you're doing, just take a seat for me, mate. I was like, what's going on here? Like, he's like, you're never going to guess who's put a bid in for you. And in my mind, I'm thinking, I don't know, like Conference League 2, like, I don't know, maybe. He's gone, Leicester City. I went, you are joking me here now. You've got to be fucking having me on, ain't you? He was like, I swear to God, Jacob, they've just put a bid in for you. And I was like, I froze, like I was shaking. I couldn't believe it. I worked so hard all my life to make it full time. Teachers and that telling you, oh, if you're not playing at Nuneaton Borough at 16, you're never going to make it. Like, what you're doing, focus on your A levels. And people like, if you're not in an academy at 9, 10, 11, 12, 30, you never make it. But I just didn't care what any of them lot said. I knew I wanted to be a footballer and I loved the game that much. Nothing was going to get in my way. So I ran straight upstairs to my boss. Yeah, boss, I quit. He went, you what? So what do you mean you quit? I was like, I want to be a professional footballer. He went, oh, fucking hell, fair play, son. So yeah, it was just such a surreal moment. Like literally, like it sounds a little bit cringe, but it's like your dreams come true. Told my mum and dad.
It's not cringe at all.
No, and I told my mum and dad, like, I think my mum just broke down. My dad was so happy for me. Like, my family were they'd always wanted it. My family were like massive to me. They still are. They done absolutely everything for me to become a professional footballer that they could. They don't come from money. We don't come from money, but they always made sure I had the latest pair of football boots. They drove me to the other side of the country to Lilleshall for where all the players play to try and get signed. You know, these are not cheap things, but they done absolutely everything they could. And just going back, like remembering going for runs with my dad when I'm like 4 or 5 years of age, like that sticks with me, especially with what I do now in like my dad's coaching and I'm a dad myself. I know that from a very young age, what you do as a dad is going to have a huge knock-on effect to your lad, which was me.
Yeah.
My dad was 22 years in the army, very narrow-minded, but he was always fit and healthy until he retired, obviously. But that stuck with me for a long, long time. So yeah, they couldn't believe it. We were over the moon, and that was the best years of my life. From 15 to 19, everything was just so good. Didn't have one injury. Like, everything I hit was, every pass was, you know what I mean? It was just, and then, that was my non-league journey. That's the first section I'd like to talk about. Mate.
It's really interesting to think about how much you remember. You remember all the games, you remember the details, you remember how it happened, you remember how it played out. So initially it's feeling intriguing to me about a life that perhaps you tried to forget for a while. That you've mentioned when you wanted to, before we recorded, you said, I wanted to forget about football for a while. So when you get to a point in your life where you don't even want to talk about football, I'm hearing you talk right now and you remember fucking everything.
That's my non-league stage.
Yeah.
That's when everything was amazing.
Okay.
And we can get onto that in a minute about why I wanted to forget my football.
Okay.
Really no problem.
So, and we've all had periods of time like that. Again, different levels at different times, but you would have experienced times in your career where we've all been forwards. It doesn't matter what level you're at. I wasn't as good as you guys or anywhere near it, but you have those moments where you're walking on water, right? You feel like
hear the joy. You can hear the joy in your voice of like what you were going through.
Yeah.
I think sometimes it's that. It's the working. It's the, you say, riding a bike. We still cats on this. All of those things make it what it is. And your determination, your mindset was to embrace that and still succeed through that. And obviously that the journey from 15 to 19 to sign for Leicester is testament to you for your mindset to say, like, I'm just gonna do whatever it takes to get there. And then you've achieved like the first part of where you've wanted to get to.
Yeah.
And I think, as you said, like the thing you said about youth kids playing in men's football. I joined St Albans when I was 15. I played for St Albans men's team when I was 15, and I always say to people, like, playing non-league football might seem it's non-league football, but the education you get at that level is amazing. And
it's unmatched. You can't match that.
Yeah.
Like when I first went into Leicester and you see these kids that technically unbelievable. Could they play that pass? Yeah. Like, but when it comes to the physical side, like they go into the shell.
Yeah.
Like, what use are you? Then you're trying to break into the first team. You get shipped out on loan to League Two. What use are you going to be? Yeah. If you're not physically ready, you can have all the ability in the world, but getting that rough and tumble, getting the smashes, getting in the scraps, like that makes you who you are.
It must be more difficult for you as well because you were big, you're strong. Centre halves see a kid, they're going to want to hit him harder, especially you being your size. It's like, so you must have like had to deal with some real heavy hits and heavy challenges at that time.
Yeah, 100%. And I preferred all that. I prefer getting an elbow to the face. Where I struggled a little bit was the little whispers in your ear, trying to get in your head. I did struggle with that. I'll be completely honest. They could get in my head that way, and that's where I lose my head. I'd either get sent off or booked, and instead of trying to score and help the team, I'd be trying to smash him. That would be on my mind. So
I'm still like that now. I literally spend my life trying to help other young men. I'm sat here on a podcast called Assist, aimed at helping other young men. You whisper into my ear on a football pitch, and I still does.
You're chasing him after the game. Chasing him after the game.
It still does, and it's the whole reason we're here today, not just in this episode, but in general, is to kind of pass on our wrongdoings so people don't do them quite as wrong. Here's where I fucked up. Try not to fuck up quite as much. But how, as a young player who is full of confidence and stepping up those levels, I've even found whenever you step into anything that feels above where you were last. We had this conversation about a social event recently, is people's opinions feel like they matter more as well. So if you're climbing through the levels and people start saying things about you, did self-doubt start to creep in, or were you still, at this point, still just mentally tough? Were you...
At that age, I'll be completely honest with you, I was jealous. It's going to sound weird. I was jealous of that mindset at that age than from 20 onwards.
Yeah.
Then I was so raw. I did not let one bad comment affect me. I didn't. Do you know what? I'll be completely honest, because I weren't getting many.
Yeah.
I weren't getting many bad comments.
Yeah.
Because I was young.
Yeah.
You have a bit more leeway with young lads. But when you're a young lad doing half decent, like I never played terrible in those non-league years. Never played awful, because as a big lad, if you win a couple of headers, you're back in the game. You could be playing terrible, but as soon as you win a few headers, send someone in, like, oh, he's actually doing all right. Do you know what I mean? You could get away with it. So yeah, I was very jealous of that mindset that I had at that age, because you didn't have that much noise. But when there was a little bit of noise, and plus social media wasn't really a thing, like 2010, 2011, it wasn't massive back then. So you couldn't really see it unless you heard the comment from the side.
Yeah.
But my mindset, whenever there was a bad comment, I used to look them dead in the eye and laugh. Like, that's just who I was. Like, I was so raw and driven, and I just knew. I looked my centre halves in the eyes, even when I was 15, 16, and I knew I'd get the better of them that match. I just knew, probably because of the physique. I don't know. Sometimes it was just the way they looked. I just knew. But yeah, I was very, like I said, I wish I had that mindset going on. I had a lot more outside noise for various factors going older. When I got a little bit older, yeah.
We've talked about this superpower a number of times, and it is a superpower. That feeling of not giving a fuck, and there's no other way of describing it. And we've long talked about players that really, really inspire us. We've brought up Jack Grealish a number of times when you're saying he plays like he don't give a fuck. Like, he could have. I remember there being a story about him crashing his Range Rover on a night out, a couple of nights before a game. He's there on a Saturday with his hair pushed back, doing his thing, and and some people would class it as kind of maybe unintelligence or not caring, but it using the right way can be a real superpower, because we've spoken at length about you overthinking every element of your career and trying to control absolutely everything. And here's a kid going to work in his steel toe caps on a bike and then just playing on the weekend and getting pissed the night before. And we're not suggesting that's necessarily the way to do it.
No.
But there's a psychological freedom to that where you just go, I'm good.
Yeah.
Because there's no more of a caravan towing you back than an emotional one.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that is the truth.
It's a heavy burden. It's hard to, like, that emotional barrier. If you've got it, you've got it.
Yeah.
And you know about it. You're going into a game with the wrong mindset.
Yeah.
As soon as you go into a game with the wrong mindset, that first ball into you, your first touch is off.
Yeah.
Your centre half's coming through the back of you, winning the header. If you're not switched on with that, say, elite mindset of ready for this match, blocking out that outside noise, it affects you from minute one. And yeah, you know.
You could do that without thinking in your younger years, though.
Exactly.
It didn't
care.
just happened naturally.
If you just do a bad touch, just it's all right. I'll make it up in a minute. Or run and get it back. You know, you haven't got anything off the pitch to think about. If that makes sense. No. Do you know what I mean? When you're older, family, kids, whatever it may be. But when you're that age and you just love the game and it's a pleasure to be there. Every day should be a pleasure to be there because you're getting paid to play. But you're waking up in the morning, you're dying to play, and you just don't care about anything else in the world than trying to win that game. And it's just, it's nuts.
I listened to the Jurgen Klopp podcast on Stephen Bartlett this week, and he kind of references that point. He was talking about, it starts about when they talk about the Diego Jota situation, which of course is going to have an impact on everyone at Liverpool Football Club, and you have to be moronic to suggest it wouldn't. But he just said, even like day to day, in terms of what was his gift as a manager, was recognizing if someone wasn't quite right and actually going, especially at the elite level where milliseconds, millimeters, and the most minute details matter. He was like, what on earth makes people think that these men are robotic and can just perform under any sort of pressure, despite what might have been happening at home this morning? Or like, if I have an argument with my partner in the morning, it affects everything I do in that day.
100%.
Every decision, every interaction, like I'm not quite myself. And to think that, and this is not yourself, this is kind of generic to men in general, like to think that you can perform under pressure, irrespective of what's happening in your personal life, is insanity.
Always held at a high standard, though, aren't they?
Yeah. But whereas if you could bottle that feeling that you had from 15 to 19, My God.
Just, you don't know where it could have led you.
My God.
This is why I always have the utmost respect for the guys at the top. And I've, since being around it and seeing how good these guys are, if I don't know, like last week, if I'm down the pub with the lads watching a team that's third bottom in the Premier League and there's a right back there and one of the lads goes, "Oh my God, he's shit." I'm like, oh, you just don't, he's not shit. Like you don't understand like the sacrifice, the actual ability, like the pressure they play under, like to be playing in the Premier League week in, week out. He's not shit. He's not shit. But it's such a common thing, isn't it? For fans just like, oh, they get paid so much money, like I can call him shit, I pay his wages. And it's just like, he's not shit. He's probably just having a bad game or you don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Might have had it, like you said, might have had an argument with the missus. Someone might have knocked on his car door on the way in. Like you just don't know what's going on in someone's life. And yeah, okay, footballers have played really well. Yeah, they should deal with criticism. Yeah, they should deal with opinions. That's absolutely fine, but they're not robots. They've got feelings. They're human beings as well, and they don't deserve half the shit they get, in my opinion.
1,000,000%. And we both had an opinion on the Raheem Sterling situation the other day when he came out and said the PFA had been involved and he felt ostracised at Chelsea because he was being made to train on his own. And then every fucker on TalkSport lumps in and goes, "Well, I would do anything on my own for 300k a week." And I'm
honestly,
like, no, I'm not being funny. If in your workplace, if you are ostracised and made to be alone and made to feel lonely and made to feel, it doesn't matter about any. He's not saying I'm not grateful for the money and the life I have. I'm sure he does lots of charity work and lots of things outside of football that do a lot of good for the community. We're not talking about that. He is well within his rights to say, this doesn't feel right for me right now.
It always comes back to the money though. It's always he's earning loads and loads of money, but like don't take into account his feelings, the emotions he's going through. Like if he said, if you're in a company and then the boss comes in and goes, "Right, you got to sit in that cupboard by yourself now just because you've done something, you're not going to fit in my plans." Like people don't understand like the stuff that he's going through. Like he wants to play football,
exactly,
and it's not his fault that he's been told by the manager he can't be in there, but he's now been told he can't actually be around the squad, and he's got to go and train on his own in the evening. Like he's done nothing.
It's enough to cripple anyone emotionally as well. I think they just walk around with a big 300k above the red like that, like the wages.
Yeah, and think about how he came on the scene and how he played when he was harnessing that. Unbelievable player. He was unbelievable. Yeah. He's won Premier League, he's won everything, he's won a lot. And that doesn't change overnight. There has to be a psychological impact, and he's not too old. So why are we not addressing that? And again, I know we've got a little bit sidetracked and we'll come back to that, but this is a bigger picture here.
Yeah, of course.
And it's on that point about that harnessing that childlike inability that's in us all, because that's the other thing in football is you don't really get a chance to grow up when you're in the game because you're just in football. There's not a real reality around you, so that you keep that childlike inhibition within you. So I mean, irrespective of that, if you couldn't, there isn't any amount of money you could pay me that I could have people pointing and laughing at me every day and making me feel lonely and sad. Like there isn't, because I know my emotions and I know how they work. And if you ostracize me, made me work alone in a space on my own and had people laughing at me through social media or for different channels, I would make it.
No.
And having no sympathy.
I wouldn't.
It'd be so tough. It'd be so tough. I mean, another funny point on that is when they have a pop back. When the pros have a pop back, oh, he's so unprofessional. What's he doing? Why can't you have a pop back? Of course. You're getting 20 million people calling you a prick. Yeah. Why can't you say, no, you're a prick? Why can't he do that?
They're held to a higher standard. Like because obviously they're role model and stuff, they're held to a higher standard. But they said that they're human beings. They all have emotions. They all act differently. Like they all... It's just, I just say, I think they're held to a different standard, and that's why a lot of them struggle, because they can't do the things without someone scrutinising for it.
100% agree with that.
Let's get back to you now, Blythe. I'm there's a lot to get through, and I'm really excited. Weirdly, I'm excited to hear where the wheels come off a little bit, and that's not me being some sort of grief tourist here.
No, it's fine.
But I know there's so much emotion attached to what happens next for you, and I want this process and this conversation to be helpful. So you're now at Leicester.
Yeah.
You're 19.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just turning 20.
What happens next?
So first of all, Leicester City, I've got nothing but praise and good things to say about them. They've given me memories that'll live with me for a lifetime. Unbelievable club, staff, players, amazing. I went in there with a similar sort of mindset to what I was non-league. I had, as soon as I went in there, I'm starting to do gym sessions. I'm doing these pre-seasons, these fitness tests, and it was Nigel Pearson and Craig Shakespeare
I
actually
thought
signed me.
it was weirdly when you said that. I was thinking about the timelines.
Craig Shakespeare was the one that come to watch me in that West Brom game. So yeah, it was them two that signed me that season. So obviously I'm doing all these gym tests and pre-seasons, and 1 minute I'm non-league, the next I'm having breakfast with David Nugent and Jermaine Beckford. It was so surreal. I couldn't believe a chef was making me food. Like I just couldn't believe what was going on. I was like, this is unbelievable. So I spent a few days straight in a 21s changing room with them, and then Gaffer was like, want you with us for a little bit? First team Gaffer. I was like, okay. So I went there doing like the yo-yo test and everything. I was keeping up with them, if not beating a few of them. I was fit. Then we went Austria on tour. There was about 4 or 5 of us from the 21s. Went with the first team. Unbelievable experience again. And came back, and I hit a bit of a mental block. It was a lot to take in. Nigel Pearson pulled me and he said, like, I think you've hit a little bit of a block mentally. I was like, you're 100% right. Like, it's a lot for me to take in. It's a whole new system. Like, just everyday life. I need some time to get used to it. Like, so I went back with the 21s, playing with the 21s, doing well, like scoring. Again, I was still that raw talent. I was never, like I said, I still really haven't been coached on all like these tactical, like your body shape, and it was just stuff I'd done like naturally. I was so raw. Like I said, good in the air and score a few goals. That was my combination then. So I've done this first season at Leicester, mainly with the 21s. And then it was like, right, okay, let's get him out on loan. Let's see how he does. And I think my first ever loan move, I think it might have been Burton. I went to Burton Albion on my first loan. I couldn't believe still, personally, that I was going to be playing League Two. A lot of the lads would turn their nose up at it because we're at a champ/Prem club. They'd be like, not going League Two. But in my head, I'm like, oh my God, like, am I going to be able to play League Two here? Because I was like 4 leagues below that the season before. So yeah, I went to Burton like really nervous. But as soon as I had a few training sessions, I was like, well, I'm fitting right in here. I've been used to training with them. This is great. And then the first 2 games, I was on the bench, got like 10 or 15 minutes, and then 21's manager was like, Blythe, can you come and play for us on Monday? I'm like, oh, I don't fucking know, mate. Like, can I? He was like, come play for us. We're players short. I've spoke to Gary Rowett at Burton, play for us. I went, all right. We had Derby County away, and we've won 5-3. I've scored an hat-trick, but I've torn my ab going to spinning behind, so I'm out for 8 weeks with that. That was a huge setback. And then I've had a few more good loan moves, and the places that I love with Northampton. Northampton is a real shining light in my head. I was only there like about 8 games, but it was unbelievable. Remember AD Boothroyd? What a guy, mate. Oh, nothing but good things to say about it. His man management was superb. Like, and he played a system that I was used to. He was 4-4-2. Diags, like, we were effective-ish, but like it suited me so well. Like, I hit the ground running, scored a few goals, and he loved me as a character because, again, I wasn't like shy or like I was quite loud. I was quite loud as a player going into an environment like that. Funny story, actually. So we're doing a bit of team bonding here, and he was massive on team bonding. And we're in the hotel night before a game, and he's like, right, I want everyone, one by one, stand up on a chair and tell me what you're most proud of. So I'm thinking, fucking, what am I most proud of here? So they're going round. One lad stands up. He goes, well, I was captain of my school cricket team. And I've looked at him, going, what the fuck's he on about here? And the next one stood up, I got signed for my district team. I'm really proud of that. And it was so like clean, and I just thought, fuck this, I'm going on here. I'm trying to lighten the mood a little bit here. So I've stood on this chair. Can't believe I said this. I've got I've necked 3 pints of piss at the bar. And the place just fucking erupted. And he pulled me in his office after it. He was pissing himself laughing. He was like, don't you ever fucking lose that personality. That is absolutely superb. And this is why I love you. A few weeks went by anyway, just off the back of that. I was, again, idiot, banned for driving. He would physically pick me up from my house and drive me into training every single day. That's how much like he liked me. He's driving me in. And he goes, Blyth, I need to tell you something, mate. I was like, yeah, go on. And he's like, put a bid in for you. And my first initial reaction, looking back, was like such a twat. I was like, I don't know if I want to go like League Two. Like, I can better than this. So yeah, how much? He was like, bid 250 for you. I was like, right, okay. And I played it down so much in my head. Rang Leicester, like, is this serious? Like, yeah, they've put it in. Like, don't worry, someone rejecting it. We'll get loads more for you in the future. And I was like, yeah, I was thinking the same. Because I was playing well. And I was 21. Mm. I'm like, my whole career here. Like, if I'm playing well here now at League Two, the only way is up for me.
Yeah.
So, turn that down and then pull my quad. I had to go back to Leicester another 2-3 months out. Went back to Leicester and again played for the 21s, doing well again, scoring a few goals. Then, if my timeline's right, correct, I can't remember if this is right, then I had probably my best season in football. I went back to Burton Albion under Gary Rowett. First couple of games again on the bench, and then he got a move to Birmingham. And Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank come in. And this is where it changed massively for me. Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank come in. And he was different to Gary Rowett. He, like, just as soon as we got to training, it was 2 or 3 laps around the pitch straight away to warm up. Like, it was intense. Every training session, we were blowing. Like, it was so intense. And he changed a few things tactically, like not putting the centre-halves on the forwards for goal kicks. Like, everyone was like, what? Like, you know what I mean? Every centre half, like, tight. He's like, no, drop off. So they all dropped off, and the 4 was on the striker. And every time they flicked it on, it went straight to our centre half. We were like, fucking hell, it works. Like, we couldn't believe it. Like, a little thing like that. Like, it was just like, I don't know about doing this. Like, we're so deep, but it worked. Got in the team, was playing every week, was playing so well. I was the fittest I'd ever been. I think I was around 84 kilo. I felt so fit. I was strong. My touch was good. Never really scored an amazing amount of goals. Scored about 5 goals that season, but I was in the thick of it, getting a few assists. Like I said, playing well. Loved it. Halfway through that season, we had Cheltenham away. I'll never forget this. Regret it massively. We had Cheltenham away. Again, 3-1 up. We're top of the league, flying. Cheltenham away, I think we were winning 3-1. And because Hasselbank installed in our heads every single time that ball goes back to the keeper, you go. I don't care what minute it is. If you don't go, you're off. So we were so good at pressing. 93rd minute, whatever it was, 3-1 up. Ball's gone back to the keeper, and I've gone like I'm sprinting to it, quad, like this, stretch it off. And I knew it was a bad one. He come in the changing room and he grabbed my quad. He was like, nothing wrong with you, big man. Like, nah, this is a grade 2 or 3 here. I'm well out of it. And, knowing what I know now about the body, that was so like easily preventable. I didn't do much pre-ab. I never switched the glutes on, didn't do much quad work. It was just kind of a few resistance bands like this.
What you were told to do.
Yeah, exactly. But if I looked after my body a little bit more then, what I know now, the knowledge I've got now, I don't think these muscle tears would have kept coming. You know what I mean? It was, like, why did I charge that keeper down? So yeah, that was my season ended about, I think it was February, March time. And they won the league. We won the league. I got a winner's medal. Again, extremely proud moment for me and my family. League 2 winner's medal from where I come from. And we went to, chairman paid for us to go to Magaluf end of that season. So that was obviously a fantastic trip. And I think another big I would say defining moment was what happened in that pre-season. That pre-season, they've gone up into League One. So the natural thing was, by the way, Jimmy was ringing Leicester every other week. Jacob fit. Because I knew that I was rushing it back, set back, rushing it back, set back. I felt wanted. Like the lads were texting me, when you fit, hurry up back. Just wanted to get back. I just kept pulling it. So that ruled me out for the whole season. That pre-season, next season, the natural thing to happen was, okay, these really like it's exact same starting 11, like 4-4-2 pretty much. Hasselbank's like ringing me. I want you to come back. I was like, amazing. League One football. If I can get here to Burton, League One football, get 30, 40 games under my belt, I'm flying here. I wanted to go back 1,000,000%. And for some reason, there was a guy at Leicester called John Rudkin, and I'll quite happily name it. I just felt like he didn't like me the entire time. He was the academy director, then he got a promotion. And I think because I didn't come through the system, I just don't think he liked me. We never really saw eye to eye, never a friendly chat or anything in the building. He was in charge of all the transfers and everything. So I think Burton might have been paying about 70% of my wages, and Leicester were paying, no, what was it, 60-40, I think it was, Burton Leicester. And John Rudkins turned around and said, you want him on a season-long loan? And he was like, yeah, I want him. He was like, okay, but sorry, this season, you're going to have to pay 80% of his wages. And Jimmy's like, oh, well, we can't do that. And he's like, and when I heard this news, I'm fuming. I'm like, why are you stopping me going to a League One club where I'm liked? I loved it there. My career can take off here. Why are you stopping that to get, like, I wasn't on massive money. I was on good money, but compared to the first team, why has he made that little percentage change to stop me from potentially going on and having a good season at Burton? I just could not get my head around it. Like, why has he done that? Again, going back to, I don't think he liked me. He's just trying to make things a little bit more difficult. To this day, I don't know, but that was huge. It didn't happen. It fell through. And I was so angry. I struggled to get out of the mindset of, this hasn't happened, fuck you lot. Like, my head was gone. Started sulking around the place. First time that you'll see a little bit of a bad attitude from me in my career.
How long did you have left on your Leicester contract then at that time?
So when I first signed, I signed a year with an option, and they took me up on the option. So I had 2 years. Yeah. After the 2 years, I signed another 2 years. So this was like the first or second year of my deal. So yeah, I'm pretty much up the following season. Yeah. So I've got like 1 year left, and I like I said, I couldn't get my head around him changing that little percentage, which scared Burton off from bringing me in for another full season. I could not get my head around it. Anyway, sulking, tantrums round the gaff, weren't happy. And from that moment onwards, I think I went on loan to Cambridge, and I was just threw my toys out. Yeah. Went there with the wrong mindset. I was there a month, didn't particularly do well, because I was so set on going Burton. It's the only place I wanted to go.
I can still see the anger in you now.
Yeah, I was fuming. I can see it.
And that's not a judgment.
No. It's like one person can change the trajectory of what you're doing.
The money that club's got, millions. Why change a 21-year-old's lad in your contract like that? Just like extra 20% that's going to scare a club off from having you. That could have potentially sent my price through the roof. How much I'm worth, and then get you more money in the future. I don't know why he done that, but yeah, I was absolutely raging, and it was a difficult time. It was a bit of head loss. Yeah. But I knew once I got my head around it, I knew that I had to move on and focus on the next steps. And yeah, from that moment onwards, probably did throw my toys out, had to just get on with it. And I had a few more loans, didn't really happen. Burton was my best one by a mile, loved it there. And then my last little stint was the year they won the Prem. So that was my last year there. That season, they started doing well at the start of the season, didn't they? Everyone was like, okay, yeah, decent, yeah, doing all right. But no one ever expected them to go and win the Premier League. It was, and to be around that environment and training with them a lot that season. Training with them, it was surreal.
What
like,
experience?
I'm thinking, I'm like, you don't realize like when you're in it, how good like these boys are. And when you train with them, they make you a better player because you've got better quality around you. Like they move, so they make your pass easy, you know?
Yeah.
But as soon as you drop down, it goes tits up. But yeah, just like seeing them, like obviously training with them and seeing them on telly or wherever. And one huge, not regret, because it was sort of out of my hands, was I never fully made my debut for the first team. And I got absolutely caned by the management for that not happening at the end of the season. I'll get onto that in a minute. So the closest I come, I think we had big black stadium, Hull away in the cup, and he changed the team up. So I think I was competing with like Leonardo, Joa, Vardy, Shinji Okazaki, Chris Wood. I think he was there that year.
Nacho, was he there as well?
He was there. Yeah, I think that was yeah. So
competition.
Loads, yeah. But so on the bench for that game was Kasper Schmeichel, Wes Morgan, Danny Drinkwater, Riyad Mahrez, Vardy, me. That was the bench.
Wow.
And before that game, Shakey's pulled me and he's gone, look, Ranieri's a gaffer. He's gone, the gaffer wants to see what you and Vardy are like up front together. We'll bring you on together, because I was doing well. I was training well. And obviously I was like, yeah, fucking hell. Like I was confident. I was fit. I think centre half for Hull that day might have been Dawson and Harry Maguire as well. So I'm just looking at them from the bench and I'm just thinking in my head, like, I'm going to come on and fucking beat you in the air. And anyway, it didn't go to plan because they went 1-0 down. They went 2-0 down. And when you're 2-0 down in the cup and you've got that bench and 3 subs, who you bringing on? I think it was Vardy, Mahrez, Drinkwater. So I didn't get that. So I was like, sound. Yeah. But yeah, that was the closest I come to getting on. I was absolutely devastated after the match. But again, a little bit of pride for sitting on the bench with those names. I wouldn't even call it pride. It was just like, I was that close. Like, you never know what could have happened. I could have come on and could have fucking flicked it on and he could have scored, or I could have scored. Anything could have happened. But yeah, that was the closest I come. And then I went on loan to Blackpool back end of that season. So the last 2 months of that season, I went on loan in League One to Blackpool. Played okay, scored a few goals. No, about 2 goals, I think it was, in about 6 or 7 games. And then you had the big talk at the end of the season, and it's whether you're getting kept on or not. I knew I weren't being kept on, and a lot of stuff happened in that season when I was training with the 21s. I had a few big bust-ups with the Leicester 21s manager. He's called Beegs. Don't know if you're familiar with Stephen Beaglehole. He's a cannon. He's well known up there. A few bust-ups with him. Like physical bust-ups, mental bust-ups. I think he's got a degree in psychology, so he knew how to fuck with your head, like getting your head in training and that. There's a lot of head loss. But just like we had a big bust-up one time, and it was like, we could have got fucking thousands for you years ago, and now because you're fucking always on the piss, now we're getting nothing for you. And I just couldn't see it at that time. I was like, it's not my fucking fault. Like, I've been injured left, right, and centre. What the fuck do you want me to do? And that caused a lot of frostiness around the gaff going into training, like thinking like the gaffer hates you. And that's pretty much how it ended at Leicester. But I've still, even though all that happened, I've still got nothing but good things to say about them. The lads were top notch. The first team was a 21s. I think I spoke to the kit man the other day. He said that he's never seen a 21s changing room like ours. Like, now they're all just fucking fairies. You know how the world is now. But we had just had, it was just an unbelievable time there. And yeah,
just coming back to that. Were you on the piss a lot? Were you taking the piss?
Yeah. So basically, I told you my routine non-league. I'll tell you how it was there. Our 21s games were on a Monday night. So I will be out with my friends in Nuneaton on the Saturday night, get steaming, recover Sunday, play Monday, probably score, probably win. That's how it was. And if it was a big game or I don't know, a cup game, that all the 21s would be out in Leicester. So every Saturday, Monday, we were pretty much out. That's if you're not getting roped into going out with one of the first teamers midweek as well. So there was a lot of going out. But again, from where I come from, it was completely normal. Never had hangovers. It was just how life was. Everyone was out. The whole changing room was out. Like in how do you word it? In fairness, it was good for team chemistry, team bonding. It was brilliant. Like I can't fault it. But I think I stayed in one Saturday and I had the worst game of my life on the Monday. That's literally how it was. So from that moment onwards, I was like, I'm not staying in ever again. Funny little story for you here. So Beegs 21's gaffers pulled us in on the Friday. We had Reading on the Monday. And he's pulled us in. He's gone, right, lads, I know yous are all going out all the time. You need to fucking knock it in the head. You need to stop going out because we need to win this fucking game Monday. And we're all going, yeah. He's going, Blythe, you especially. I'm like, yeah, don't worry, Gaffer. Like, I'm skipper of the 21. Like, don't worry, Beegs. Like, yeah, we'll stay in. And he's named a few others that love it. I'm like, yeah, don't worry. As soon as I finished that meeting and training session, I was straight in the car to Liverpool. I had a big night out. So we went out in Liverpool, absolutely steaming, woke up Sunday, little bit of a hangover, full dominoes and that to recover. Monday, scored 4. 1-4-1, scored 4. After the game, we got all the lads to sign the ball. And Biggs has gone, see, Blimey, see what happens when you fucking stay in. And I went, yeah, Biggs, 100%, you're right. I went, only joking, I was steaming. But yeah, that's just how it was. That was just the routine we were in. Like, in looking back, obviously, yeah, it's stupid. Like, where could you have got if you stayed in and you were fitter, more of a elite athlete? But it's just what you were used to. Like, we were on the coach home from Leamington, in Leamington games, with the fans at the front of the coach, supplying crates of Carlin for all of us to get steaming at the back of the coach. Like, that was normal. Fans buying you drinks in the clubhouse, you'd always have a drink. That was just the normal culture. So to try and stop that when everyone else is still doing it at a pro club, you're never going to stop it. And in hindsight, did the alcohol play a big role in all my muscle injuries? Probably. My calf kept going, my quads kept going. It was never like a knee or an ankle. It was muscle. Like,
so hard though, isn't it, psychologically, when you're doing something which you're putting them men to do, but it's giving you results.
Exactly.
You can't stop, and then when you stopped, and then you've done the professional thing and not got the results. So I can see that kind of thing. Like, it's like a superstition. If you do something over and over again and it keeps working, it's like, why am I going to stop? So I can see the toughness behind that.
100%. And as a young lad as well, when you've got first teamers like you look up to, and they're asking you to come out. Like, Vards loved the drink at the time, Ben Marshall, all them, like, they like loved the drink, and we were going out, and it was just like, how can you say no to a first teamer? Like, this is sick.
That carefree element as well. There's that feeling of belonging, there's that feeling of team spirit, and there's that feeling of, like we said earlier, you didn't give a fuck.
No.
And that was the superpower at the time, and it carried on working out. No way am I suggesting, especially someone who's had to find sobriety in later life as well. Like, no way am I suggesting that this is the done thing. But there is something that we're touching upon something here about finding that carefree element, finding that thing where we're in a situation now with players, say, of similar age to you, in a similar position, whereby everything they do is controlled. Everything they do is monitored. Every fine detail to the nth degree. And I think you lose something in that. I think you lose creativity. I think it stifles creativity. I think it stifles authenticity. I think it stifles kind of that feeling of, like you said, you played on the edge. That's your best games, when you had to be aggressive, when you had to behave not like a silky football player, but like a big man in a young man's body. Those things had to come from what you learn. But then, where's the balancing act?
Exactly.
Where and this is where, perhaps for yourself, as well as some really shit luck along the way as well. And this is, I'm hearing, so there'll be lads listening to this, hearing about someone a coach or a manager or someone involved in football putting a stop on something for them to move forward and resonating with that and feeling that same pain I still saw in you. There'll be people who be listening to kind of that situation, being on a bench and that those nearly moments. It's frustrating. I can see the pain in you.
You came from non-league, didn't do gym, and then you've thrown into the world of like the gym and football, and because obviously non-league, it's like it's a certain training regime. Then you go into the world of professional football and it completely changes, and then you're then asked to do something you're not naturally used to doing, and then your body's trying to play catch up.
Exactly. It's trying to adapt to it. Like, I've never been on a leg press. I've never tried to do pull-ups. Like, what's this monstrosity?
Which is
like, your body trying to adapt. If you're not used to it, it's gonna.
Do you think that would have been if they just left you to it as you were naturally? Do you think they would have got the best out of you?
I don't know. That's so hard to say because you had freaks like, I know I keep saying, like Vardy didn't do any gym ever. So, but it was just a freak genetically. Like, but I don't know. I would love to know that. Like, if we didn't do as much gym, would I have got these injuries, or was it a combination of now doing loads of gym plus the alcohol? Is this contributing to your injuries? I don't know. It's so hard to say. I would love to go back and try it, but you had to. You had to. Like the S&C coach was like, do this now or you're not going home. Do this now or it's a fine. And it's like you had to do gym sessions. So it was a big change to the routine. But did I love it? Yeah, loved it. Absolutely loved it. And like I said, nothing but good things to say about that gaff. The setup was mind-blowing, like unbelievable. I believe it's even better now with the new ground, but it was just...
You should still feel very proud of that experience, to be part of what you were part of, which is probably one of the most magic stories in football.
I appreciate that, but that's half of my denial that I was touching on earlier. So seeing your mates playing League One, few in a champ, League Two, being jealous because you still want to do that and you still wanted to do that, sorry. It was extremely tough to take. It was so hard for me to take. I couldn't get my head around it. And I had a few seasons out of football. I missed so much football, like through whatever reason. I missed a full season when I was 25, 28, 30, you know.
Is that you stepping away? Was that you stepping away?
Bit of both. Of both. I had that much pain. I just couldn't. I was struggling to get through the games, and it was just hard for me to do. So, my time's up at Leicester. That summer, I had my agent at the time, who I liked, got on with, good company. He rings me. I was like, mate, you've done it at League Two. I was like, well, yeah, I've been there, but I haven't done it. He was like, yeah, listen, I had 3 or 4 teams from League Two and 2 teams from League One wanted to sign me that season. All good money for the level and what I was used to. And I had my heart set on one of these. I would have went back to League Two. Do you know what I mean? I still thought League Two was, good. Once I got over that Adi Boothboy conversation where I was then, I was like, 100% get me League Two. Like, I will take that. And then he was like, oh, we've had a couple of offers from Scotland. And I was like, no disrespect to Scotland, but you don't hear about it much when you're in England, do you? You hear a lot about Celtic and Rangers, but you don't hear a lot about it. I didn't know anyone else living or playing up there. I didn't know a single soul. And he was like, oh yeah, it was, I think it was Ross County, someone else, and Motherwell. They put offers on the table. So I said to my agent, and I really want to get this out there, I said to my agent, no disrespect to Scotland, I want to stay in England. Because one of the reasons was the bird I was seeing at the time lived in Oxford. I didn't want to be that far away. My family was in Nuneaton. I didn't know anyone up there. And I just wanted to stay in England. That's the be all and end all. And anyway, I had I was being offered good money by this club who he had a player there that was on double, but that was a skipper. He's like, oh, you're not being highest paid there, mate. That says to me you're not going to play. And I was like, no. I don't look at it like that. Like, I am grateful for this offer. Like, I want to go here. Like, if I can get 30, 40 games under my belt playing League One, it's going to do me the world of good. And he was, I know why he was doing it now, but at the time he was like, okay, let me speak to the other lads. And he went and spoke to the whole agency as one. He rang me back. He was like, listen, mate, we've had a group chat. We believe that the best move for you right now is to go up to Scotland. What players do is they go up there, they have a really good season, they score loads of goals, and then they get a move to the champ. And I was like, I just didn't want to. I didn't want to go up there. I was like, I want to go to this club in League One. It was about an hour from where I was living. Massive club, huge club, offering good money. And I was like, and he really talked me around it. Really, he was doing a lot. And in the end, I just kind of went, I was being offered like really good money up there, more than what I was being offered down here, but that still wasn't making me want to go up there. So he taught me around it. I went up there probably with the wrong mindset of, I still want to be in England, but this is where I am now. Good club, put me in a lovely apartment, looked after me well, again, getting paid well. And then from the first week of being up there, my body started to break down. You heard about little injury. My body started breaking down like I've never seen before. Like, I thought, what is going on here? I had this heel pain. Like, I couldn't jump, couldn't run, couldn't jump until it settled down after a few weeks. And that was from the first pre-season with Motherwell when I signed for them. I was just in so much pain with this heel thing. They said I had a Haglund's deformity. I went to see a specialist. He said it was a Haglund's deformity, which I later found out 8 years later, 2 months ago, that it wasn't a Haglund's deformity. It was something else. But anyway, didn't get going there at all at Motherwell. You know, I just split up with my bird that I was with for 4 years in Leicester. I was a single lad up there, you know, double the drink that I was on in Leicester. I'm a young single lad up there, living on my own, first time living away, never mind round the corner in a different country. Distractions start to come in, women being the biggest one, and women and drink being the biggest one for me up there. I couldn't see what I was doing. Because of the girl that I was seeing when I first went up there, that crowd of reality stars, and I got in with the wrong crowd. Their job was to be in front of the camera, get pissed, and it was my job to stay away from the camera and not get pissed. But I was doing their job. Yeah. So getting involved with the wrong crowd 100% played a big part in why things have gone wrong for me. And I never, like I said, I never got going at Motherwell. I was just injured with this heel and then other things. And I got vocal on Twitter, disrespecting Scotland. You know, I didn't mean to. I just worded it as up here. And it went viral and it was in all the papers and I got slated for it. And I was disliked up there as this English lad moaning about, because I'd never played really on 4G. Yeah. Like league games and trained. Like at Leicester, it was all grass. I think we went on Astra like twice in 4 years. But in Scotland, you're on it a lot, like a lot more. And I just kept breaking down. And I'd done this Lisfranc injury. I've pulled off for a diag. It's where your bones here on your big toe and second toe, they split. And the doctor was like, this is called a Lisfranc. Have you ever heard of it? I went, no. So that happened, and that was probably the worst injury I've ever had. I was out for 8 months with that.
It's a real nightmare here so far.
Yeah, I'm having a torrid time. But this happened in the second half of the season, this injury. Bearing in mind all that I told you, I haven't got going at all.
Yeah.
So this is what happened at Motherwell. I'll tell you. So I've done this Liz Frank injury. My head, my mental space has gone, like fully gone. It was so hard for me to take this injury in particular because I've come up here from England. Not a big name. I don't want to say a big name, but I've done all right in League Two down in England. I've come from Leicester City. The headlines. I think when I went up, they made a big thing about Jamie Vardy teaching me in training or something mad like that. So people were expecting this guy, and when he never gets going, and you're hanging about with reality stars, and you're on social media for probably the wrong reasons, maybe posing, nights out, drink.
Yeah.
Obviously, the fans are going to hate you. You know, they were a family-run club, and I see that now. So this injury happens in the second half of the season, and then the gaffer said to me, he went, look, the season's finished. He went, look, I'm so sorry about this injury because I got misdiagnosed by a Glaswegian specialist, and I've been asked not to talk about this, but I want to talk about it. A Glaswegian specialist told me I can just rehab that Liz Frank injury. And I said, amazing, great news, thank you. This was March, April time. So there's me rehabbing it. And I'm just like, this isn't going. I'm 4 weeks in, 5. This isn't going. This is horrendous. So they went, so 6 to 8 weeks of rehabbing it, wasted time, season finished. Go and see a specialist, James Calder, who's like one of the best down in London. Take your socks off, son. He just had one look at it, he went, you need an operation. I was like, oh my God. So how long am I looking at? He went, about 8 months. I was like, oh my God. So all this shit's happened all season. I've been injured pretty much all season. I've just been told this news. My head's flying, spinning, living in this apartment on my own. So I went in with a gaffer and he was like, listen, I'm so sorry that you've been misdiagnosed. I was going mad. I was like, this could have been prevented. I could have had the op 2 or 3 months ago. I've wasted time, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, listen, not a sorry, but go abroad, go and clear your head, find that mental space again. And I was like, okay, yeah, cheers, gaffer. So I got a flight to Marbella and I stayed in a hotel on my own, away from everyone. Oh, by the way, I've just had the operation that they paid for. So I've had the op. I flew straight to Marbella on my own. It's in a hotel on my own, 3 or 4 days, cleared the head. It was great. And yeah, so I got a phone call from a mate and he was just like, come to this villa. I've met Holly, who is now my wife. I met her the month before in Ibiza. It was like the honeymoon stage. So things were really fresh and things were amazing. And you know what it's like at that beginning stage, you just want to text each other every minute of the day. And it was a birthday. My mate was like, come over to the villa and surprise her. And none of them knew I was there. And I was like, I can't go over there. I can't do it. Like, I need to just stay away and find my head here. So I've gone to this villa, rocked up, surprised them all, and everyone's buzzing to see me. And yeah, things escalated. There was party scenes, what comes with parties, and it was carnage, above and beyond. Get home, Holly rings me crying her eyes out. I'm going, what? She's in hysterics. She's like, I'm so sorry, you're going to hate me. I'm going, what the fuck's going on here? The Paps have found our villa. They've put a lens through the fucking bush, took pictures of everyone around the villa. And they said, yeah, they're going to be putting it on the front page of the Sun next week. And I'm sat there like, oh my God. I'm thinking, nah, this is bad. Like, this is bad. So yeah, she thinks I hate her. Like, she's so sorry. She's constantly sobbing. And I'm just like, don't worry about it. I was like, look, if you're a one night stand, my God, my head would be gone.
Yeah.
But I really like you. And I knew she was different, like personality, like looks, sense of humor. I knew she was different. I was like, she's so special. Like, she's unbelievable. Lad banter, never met anyone like her. So I was like, I think I can see this like lasting. So I'm kind of comforting her, like, don't worry about it, we'll get through it. Rang my agent, this is happening. He's like, oh, don't worry about it, mate. It's happened to Raheem Sterling, it's happened to Jack Grealish. Like, get over it. I'm going, nah, this is bad. This is really bad. And he was just like, don't worry about it. Okay. I got immediately suspended from Motherwell. I got kicked out of the group chat. I wasn't allowed to talk to anyone there. The pictures come out, like I said, front page of the Scottish Sun, and it was down in England as well. And yeah, it was a difficult time when that come out. I'm not going to lie, it was horrendous. I had to go up there for a meeting on my own. I had to get a flight up from Birmingham to Glasgow. Arrived at the airport. There was Scottish fans. Can't you? Horrible, and all this. It was just abuse central at that time. I had to come off all social media. I was getting absolutely panned on there by everyone left, right and centre, saying I'm a disgrace and that. I went into the meeting and there was chairman, chief exec, typewriter, secretary, lawyer, and I walked in on my own. I shouldn't have done that. I should have walked in with someone at least to represent me. And I just told them the story. I said, look, I went to Marbella, cleared my head like you told me to, and this and that. And they were like, oh, right, is this true? Is that true? I was like, yeah, it's all true, blah, blah, blah. So that was all done. That was all done. And we come to an agreement. I thought, there's no coming back from this. I was hated anyway because I was injured. I was this guy on social media that hanging about with the wrong crowd. And we mutually agreed to terminate my contract. I got a little bit of a pay up. Now, that happened in 2017. I'm about to walk into the worst time of my life. Like, it was absolutely horrendous. So I've got no club. I got nowhere near the money I should have got for the pay up, but I just wanted it done. I accepted anything. I had to move back in with mum and dad. I've got this 8-month injury, right foot, so I can't drive, so I can't leave the house. So I've gone from training every day to being in my mum and dad's. They put a bed in a dining room for me, bless them. Sat in this dining room with my foot in a boot, not being able to go on social media for months with no income, with a bit of the pay up. Now, yeah, it was my fault that I had the flash, I had the Range Rovers and that and this and that, but I'm sat there, lay there thinking, what am I going to do here? I'm thinking everyone hates me. I'm thinking the world hates me. I couldn't watch any more TV if I tried. I'm like, what do I do now? And Holly was just, I don't know what would have happened if she didn't keep texting me, because I had no one. I had no one to really text, or all the people that were in that villa with us were just like, oh, you'll be all right, mate. You'll be all right. They don't realise what's just happened to me. Like, they're from a different world. I text the gaffer, like, gaffer, please, like, can I explain my side of the story? Just didn't message me back. Tried ringing a few of the lads up there that I thought I was fairly close with. Didn't answer, which I get, because they were scared of getting in trouble because they were under orders not to make any contact with me. So I started, again, turn to the drink. My dad's big on the vodka. I'd turn straight to the straight vodka most days, thinking about what I can do next with my career. I was getting offers because of the world, that kind of world that I was in. I was getting offers to go on like X on the beach and faking a breakup with Holly. And I'm thinking, like, my mind's in overdrive. I'm like, do I go to the Instagram world, start promoting stuff? But what are fans going to think if I get over this hurdle? Like, a million things are going through your head. Like, I need to start making money. Like, this is the be all and end all, because football could be over here. I need to find a new life quick. So I started going down that route. I started getting sent things by companies, hats, tracksuits. Started promoting it, and I was still getting caned off fans like, oh, you're so interested in football, aren't you? Oh, you don't care about football, mate. Like, I was getting battered. But what they didn't know what was going on behind the scenes. Like, I've got to start doing things here. I've got to start like doing things for my own sanity. Couldn't go to the gym. I had no one to rehab my foot. Like, I'm 4 or 5 months in here and I'm winging it.
Yeah.
I'm guessing what to do. I'm ringing physios. They're not interested. I probably should have rang the PFA and asked for a physio, but my mind was just all over the gaff. And to be fair to the PFA, a guy rang me from them that were, it's a guy, I can't remember his name. He used to play for England years ago, but he rang me. He was like, I've done pretty much exactly the same as what's happened to you, mate. And he helped me a little bit, just saying he's been there and done that. This is how you get over it. And I just obviously thanked him for helping me during that situation. But yeah, moving forward from that, it was tough. And it spoke volumes how much Holly was there for me during that, just emotionally more than anything. She was just always there for me, like ringing me. She'd drive down from Middlesbrough to Nuneaton. She'd take me out to like hotels just so I could get out the house, and we'd literally just sit in a hotel room and just chat, just so I could see a different 4 walls. And it was, she was amazing, and that spoke volumes to me. I was just like, I get asked this question a lot, like, what would have happened to my football career if I didn't meet Holly? And I always struggle to answer it. It's like, if I didn't meet Holly, would I be an established League One, possibly Championship player? Who knows? I might have always got injured again. Who knows? But one thing I have found in Holly is extremely respectful, independent, loyal wife that's given me an amazing child. And now, we'll probably get onto this later where I am now, but I'm in my dream house with my wife and my kid, and we run a business together, and we've been together 8 years, and we've pre-child didn't have one single argument. So would I have found another woman like that in my life had I not met her? Probably not, because you know what women are like. They're after footballers. They got that reputation. Like, yeah. So yeah, that was 2017 to 2018 was extremely difficult for me mentally.
Can I just say, that is, even one of those things as a young man is hard to take. Just to go through all of that at the same time.
That's a hell of a lot.
I'm gonna ask you at some point in a minute, how did you survive? But I think you've already answered that, because your now wife was there for you in a way that you could only have dreamt for. And we can look at this kind of retrospectively and think about that was the universe guiding you to what you needed most. And I know you wouldn't change that now because of the life that you have. Take away the house and the thing, you've got a beautiful wife who adores you clearly, and a son. And that none of that would have happened without this. But it doesn't mean that at the time it wasn't really fucking painful. And I can hear the pain in your voice. I can see it in your eyes. Like, it's I wouldn't wish that on anyone. And the reality is, those people pointing their fingers and laughing or criticizing, they'd have done the exact same fucking thing. If you'd put me in that situation you're in, I'd have done the same thing.
You don't. Yeah. That's the thing. They don't. See, but they don't see the.
They don't see that.
They don't see.
They don't understand.
No, the knock-on effect of like what they've seen. Say the photos of you, and obviously that's gone on, but then don't see the ramifications of what that's now happened to you. You're out of football. You're injured. Like you've got kind of no purpose at this moment in time. They don't see that, and they're still on you. Yeah. Like. There is no grace. There is no like.
Even a simple thing about moving to a different country. Essentially, I know it's still, but moving to a different country on your own, having just gone through a breakup,
but also kind of being not forced, but that wasn't your first thought.
I didn't want to go up there. Yeah, like, to put it politely, and I'm glad you've brought that back up. I've later found out what happened. What do you think happened? The agents got a hefty agent fee. That's why they were trying to get me up there. And I didn't know, by the way, for the thousands of players out there that don't know, you have to pay tax on that. You have to pay tax on the agent's fee. I didn't know that, which I got buckled with during this. I'm getting a phone call, by the way, you need to pay your agent's fee. I'm going, oh my God, are you shitting me? I'm sat at home like fuming. But it was horrendous, and my luck didn't really change from that injury, that right foot. I just haven't been the same because I missed that whole season when I was 24. I had the whole season out and I was up at Holly's. I had a phone call from Ian Everett. He was like, because I played against him when he was at Chesterfield, I'd done well, and he was with my agency. He said, I'm getting the Barrow or the Macclesfield job. I want to bring you in, make you my number 9. And I was like, yes. Like, yes. Like, I had that much fire back in me. Like, this is my second chance. Because I just kept getting told, oh, Cannon. Nah, Cannon. Not bringing him in. Like, because of what happened.
Yeah.
Because it was so public. So I had this second chance at footy here, and I was determined to absolutely smash it. And he got the Barrow job. They're in conference, Prem. So I went up there, signed. I went back to that pre-season flying, the fittest. Like, I think John Rooney was winning all the comps.
What year is this?
This is 2018, 2019.
Josh Granite there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Josh, top lad.
He's a good friend of mine. Yeah, I went to university with him. Yeah,
he's a good lad, Josh. He was skipper that season.
Yeah.
He's a good lad, man. Yeah. So getting back, quickly getting back onto the look thing now. I went back that pre-season fit, strong, like felt good. And then we had Barrow old Hoka boys, whatever they're called, like the second Barrow team up there, non-league pitch, like railings going around the side. 5 minutes into that match, I've been rammed off the pitch by this meathead centre half. And I've gone smash into the railings, head over, smashed my head off the floor, dislocated my shoulder. I had to wait there 40 minutes for an ambulance because there's only 2 ambulances in Barrow. So I'm waiting for this fucking ambulance for ages, dislocated my shoulder, end up being out for 6 months with that. So
they've just changed the law on that this year.
Have they?
A young lad died. I don't know if you saw it, and I regretfully don't remember his name at this time. I hope we can go back and look at it. Recently, a young lad died in that exact same situation, railings around a pitch, concrete railings, because I still play at these grounds now, and smacked his head.
So dangerous.
And
like
died.
if you're running full pelt.
So the law has now changed. I mean, within the last few weeks, this is very recently, and it's been quite big in the news at this moment in time. So another hearing of
another story of it happening. Yeah, it was horrendous. So I just had all that, obviously after Motherwell, and then I've got my second chance here. Boom, shoulders gone. I'm out. I miss pretty much half a season. My first season back with Barrow. Got back fit. Got in the team. Done well. And then, yeah. So this point now, I'm 26.
So he's still so young.
26.
Fucking hell.
You think he's like,
lots
30 odd, but he's like, he's saying like
so much happened, mate. Like it was.
So sort of space of 6 years. Non-league.
Yeah, and that was obviously in the conference with Barrow. And then the next season, I've only scored a few goals. I played about 20. Only scored a few goals, but playing well in some of them. I got moved to Macclesfield, who were a league above in League 2. And that was a funny one. That was my last season in full-time football. That's when lockdown hit the following during that season. That was such a strange one. I don't know where to start with Macclesfield. It was the chairman weren't paying the players, one of those clubs. I think during it, we had to go on strike. So it was just, I don't want to say it was horrendous. Sol Campbell signed me. And I liked him. A lot of the lads didn't say they're the biggest fan of him. I liked him. There was another lad playing ahead of me, and then I got my chance at Blackpool away in the cup. Played all right. Played about 70 minutes, and then Sol Campbell left Macclesfield because the chairman owed him. I think it was $500,000 in wages. So Sol Campbell left after 3 games, and I played a good amount of minutes. And then this new guy come in. Darryl McMahon, I think he was called. Just fully bombed me off. Like, not even like in the squad. I don't know whether it's because I'm in this big public relationship off the pitch. Like, he hadn't even like really. He seen me train twice, but I'm in and out there, and then he comes in out the squad, and I was like, what is going on here? I've never been left out of squad. Like, it was moments like that where I was like, I think it's coming to an end now. I started doubting myself. I'm thinking, I can't play. If I can't play here, then I can't play anywhere really, because they were struggling financially. They were fighting relegation. The wages weren't being paid. We were going on strike. There's so many factors, and that was then that the end of that halfway, 3/4 through that season, the season got called off. Do you remember? Because of COVID, and you had to keep fit for instructions from the S&C coach.
Yeah.
Everyone, I want you on a what was it, 5K run. Send me your times. I want proof. Gone out for a run. Fell on a stone. Knee. I've torn my lateral meniscus on my knee. And I'm like,
at what point are you thinking football might not be for you?
Well, exactly. I was just like, at this point, I was like, I just don't know if I can continue it. Not even physically, mentally. Like, to deal with those injuries were just horrendous. So I have a knock on the knee. I'm still trying to fight my way back. But yeah, that was my last season in full-time football. COVID hits. Lockdown happens. And in lockdown, I had a good chat with Holly. We had our first house together in Bolton. And she wanted me, sounds bad, but she didn't want me near football. She's seen how much it affected me.
I can imagine.
With the injuries. She would be like fuming every time I went there. But that this is a public thing, by the way, as well. Like, she's been had before for, why you fellas are like a pro football, why don't you back his career? And which I get why. Yeah, if I'm coming home all the time with exactly. If I'm coming home with head loss and injuries all the time, obviously you wouldn't want to see your fella doing that, would you? So we're like, we've got to start looking at other avenues. I was like, what do you mean? She was like, you can't just keep relying on football. I'm going, you know what? You're right. I was like, what can I do now? All I've known is football. I had no clue what to do. She was like, well, what do you love? Oh, if I love football. Yeah, but you've got to think deeper. Like, what can you see yourself doing? I was like, well, I've had that many injuries. I've learned that much about the body. PTing, health and fitness. I thought, I'll go for it. So I got the level 2 and level 3 in lockdown, studied that, got qualified. The world starts getting back to normal. And then I signed for Chorley, my first part-time team. Loved it there. They're a hybrid, actually, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, which is crazy. And I got a job in a local gym, JD Gyms in Bury. And this was hard. This was tough to take, probably from an ego perspective. So I actually said something quite funny when I got home after my first day with to Holly. I was like, 1 minute I'm celebrating with a Premier League team, the next I'm cleaning treadmills.
I was about to say, have you wiping things down?
And doing that on top of being in a very public relationship. So you are recognised. The comments I got in there didn't affect me, but it did. Kind of. It was just like, what are you doing in it? Like, people couldn't believe, like, I was... Not like I was a celebrity, but I was in a public relationship. I was on TV on Geordie OGs. I played football at an all right level. Like, people were coming up to me going, mate, what the fuck are you doing in here? I'm going, oh, it's my next job. Like, they couldn't understand. They were like, why are you not playing? I was like, I'm at Chorley. Like, yeah, but why are you not playing higher? I'm like, listen, if you had my body, you would fucking understand why I've got to start looking elsewhere. I started training people in person, one-on-one, getting used to that. Hands-on. And I knew in the back of my mind, if I ever wanted to go online, I had to get some first-hand experience here. Can't just go straight online, because you get called a CUNT by the rest of the fitness industry because you cheat in the system. So I went in there, got a little bit of experience, which I thoroughly needed. Got over the comments, got over the wiping the treadmill. It hurt my ego a little bit, but I knew that this was my next career. This was my transition. I have to do this. I don't mind starting from the bottom and working my way up to be a respectable PT. It's got to be done. And I'd done a good few months there. And then I left because I had my wedding in Ibiza to Holly. Ended up getting married to Holly. Met her in IB for 2017, 2021, proposed over there, 2022, got married over there on a rooftop. Like, it's a lovely little story. And that summer was just unbelievable. Obviously, wedding, unbelievable day. And then as soon as we got back, we were like, let's build something. Let's make something online. Like, yeah, go on then. What can we do? Well, you've just obviously got that experience. Holly had been going to gym 3 or 4 years, and she soaked up all the knowledge. She was fully qualified as well, like more qualifications than me. She soaked up so much knowledge from her PT, Tyler, in Bolton. So she was so knowledgeable. So we were like, let's build something. Let's create something. All right, then. All my client consultations that I was having, what were they all struggling with the most? Time, money, effort, motivation, trying to get to the gym. Let's make something from home. Okay. So we started filming live workouts at 6 a.m. Monday to Friday together, and we were charging people an okay fee. And we put it out there. We were absolutely shitting ourselves. We were like, what if we get 2 people? It's going to be so embarrassing. And we had like 65 people.
Wow.
And we were like so grateful to them.
Yeah.
And we were like, we want to change your life. So we started doing these workouts Monday to Friday, 6 a.m. She's not a morning person. I am. She was hating getting up at that time. She was pregnant with my son, Alpha Jackson now at the time. And yeah, we started building these little blocks, and we were just filming all these workouts. It was so much like, it was a whole different feeling to football. It was like, we started seeing results after like 2 months. Like, people were losing weight, and we built this community on Facebook, and yeah, we've got about 2,000 members in there now. And our niche was busy working mums, workouts from home. And it was a small, this is the next bit. After that, we made an app. There was a small monthly fee to get on there, and we built this community, and we started seeing these results. And I can't describe the feeling. It was like, I'll try and compare it to like scoring a goal or someone losing 10 kilograms. It's like, you're so
lit up.
Proud.
You can see you lit up.
You're so proud of like what you've done. It was like I say, it was obviously a different feel. You can't describe to someone what it's like to score a goal in front of a crowd and if you haven't done it yourself. But no, I was like, I don't think I'm going to find that feeling of helping people anywhere else, doing anything else. My job is to provide a service now, and this is the career I want to get into. Yeah. And that's what we done. We built something. We built a community together. We run the business together. It started off as 4Fitness. It's now Team Fitty. We then invested in getting it into an app. We've got our community. And yeah, it was a whirlwind few years. And obviously we're doing all that whilst Holly's pregnant. It was a lot. I touched on it earlier. Probably get into it in a minute, but yeah, it was a lot.
It's listening to you. It's been a really interesting episode so far, because you hold space really well, and we've been able just to sit here and listen. We often are asking a lot more questions and stuff, but there's just so much that happened in such a short space of time for you within a 10-year period that is not normal. And I'm so proud to have you sat here today in the relationship you're in with your family, looking healthy. Like it's wonderful to see, because there's many times over that journey that you may not have got to this point, and you could have chosen. Yes, you took some paths that weren't necessarily meant for you, but it's got you to where you are right now. And life has a funny way of finding. It's never like progress is never linear, right? And we was out to clients from a coaching perspective, but everything you learn on these challenges and in these situations has brought you to who you are today, and being able to relate to your clients and the stresses on real life and what comes to them, and be able to offer them a great service. That's brilliant. being a good husband, being a good father. You can see when, and you're very animated. People will be listening to this and watching this, and they will see you draw in as you talk about football, and then like back up again. It's like you're blossoming in excitement as you start talking about this new life now.
Yeah.
So I'm so sorry you went through what you went through. It was fucking awful. I wouldn't wish it on anyone. And I think I need you to know this. Having listened to your story, you're not a bad person. You may have been made to feel that. You may have been made to feel that throughout this time, because the amount of fucking people telling you you're this, that, and the other just because you did everything they would have done in the same situation. And this is the lesson I want people to learn listening to this is put yourself in their fucking shoes. What would you have done? How would you have dealt with that situation differently? Because no one's perfect. I made all the same mistakes you did and more.
100%.
And I am the man today. I am having these conversations that I know are going to help people as a result of those mistakes. Not in spite of those mistakes, because of those mistakes. The best people in this world do what you've done and learn from it and get better, and then offer their story as a survival guide to others to help them not make the same mistakes. I know you wouldn't change anything because it's got you to where you are right now.
Yeah, and I've only recently agreed with that. But a few years ago, I was kind of like, oh, what if? You know what I mean?
And I think that's okay, whether that football, relationships, business, finance. Probably choking up because of your story. There's of course we're going to look back and think, and hindsight's a wonderful thing.
Of course.
Would you give up anything that's got you to where you are right now?
100% no. I wouldn't, because I've learned so much from it. And this is what we were touching on earlier, when I've only very recently been prepared to talk about my football career, because I've been living in denial for years since I stopped at 28. I'm now 33. I've lived in denial. I've been embarrassed about my career because of where my mates are. You know, like I said, they were playing League One. Every time someone would bring up the word football in my career, I would like change the subject. I had all my shirts that got framed. They were just in the shed for 5 or 6 years. I just where I was and where I should have been and where I should have got to, that's why. But since, and I played a little bit of non-league football recently as well, and speaking to the young lads there and listening to them, and when I'm hearing them say, oh, what clubs have you been at? And they're just saying all these local teams, non-league, and then they ask me. And I'm like, oh, well, and I say all these professional teams, full-time teams, and I'm like, yeah, okay, what I did was fairly decent. It weren't bad at all. And it's going to sound mad. I had a handyman around mine because I refused to knock nails into the wall in case I hit a pipe, to hang up my shirts. And like I said, they were locked away in a shed for years of embarrassment. And he walked in and he went, why have these not been hung up? And I was like, well, I told him, like, I've just been embarrassed. He said, are you fucking shitting me? He was like, what you've done? And he looked at a big picture that was just like stashed away in the corner, and it's me. I know I probably just jumped on it, but it was me in the Leicester title winning season with the squad. Yeah, someone was probably ill that day, but yeah, he was looking at it, looking at my shirts. You know, he was just like, just to get your name printed on your back, you don't understand. Like that is such a big achievement. Like, it don't matter how much you've played, where you've played, like what you've achieved is extremely rare. But I could never see it like that because I only played 20 games here. I only scored 4 or 5 goals there. I only played 10 games there. I always had, oh my God, like that's so embarrassing. I should have scored more, should have played more. And like I said, 5, 6 years, denial, embarrassment. But now in this new life that I've got, this next chapter, I look back with a bit of pride, and it's like,
I think you should.
It's rare to be a professional footballer. What you've done is rare, and you should be a little bit proud of that. So
you should be so proud of that.
100%.
And we've had this conversation so many times, and football has this horrible ability to make you cross-compare and cross-examine every single thing you do at all points, or feel less than, unless you are Ronaldo or Messi, and I'm sure they have their own hang-ups. We create this version of a player or as a person, as a man, or a situation that doesn't actually ever really exist, and we forget to be present. And I heard you speak a lot throughout that podcast and say, oh, if I get 30, 40 games here, if I get 30, 40... the reality was you were never just got back to that childlike 15 to 19-year-old who was just turning up and just playing football, because that was when you were at your most beautiful. And yes, again, hindsight's a wonderful thing, but this is a message to football players, isn't it? This is a message to people in that same situation, kind of 10 years previous to where you are now, is just stop chasing this imaginary dream. And it's a football-based cliche, but the goalpost will always change. Once you get to X, you will want to achieve more. And the reality is it's so beautiful right now, and you should be so fucking proud of what you've done right now and what you continue to do. But
you've overcome. Like what you've had to overcome throughout that time is kind of more beautiful than anything.
Incredible.
Your mindset, what you've had to deal with, and you say no, and no one sees that you've got all of this. You've talked to us and explained it. No one would see this. No one would understand what you've gone through. No one knows what you sitting in the hotel rooms, not being able to move, not having any money. Like as you said earlier, which resonates with me, is like the ego of having to go and work in a gym and stuff like that, because you come out of football and you think you're a footballer, and I'm beyond that, and all these things you've gone through have tested you, and no one understands that. And to now you've kind of given it to people, can see that and understand how strong mentally you are as a man, to have gone through that, to have that, like a public relationship, to have people scrutinise your relationship, and obviously you would have had people in the dressing room, you've had managers, people look at that and kind of, as I say, scrutinise that relationship. You've had to go through all of that, and you've dealt with that in an amazing way, and obviously it's come out as a beautiful next step for you guys.
Oh, cheers, mate. I appreciate that. Nice words from both of you, man. It's
football has this incredible way of making you think that you are a good man when you're playing well and you're a bad man when you're not. And the reality is there is so much more to you as a man than the football player, and you're starting to see that now. I had this same journey with Craig. When he came out of football, when he retired, he was like, well, what am I if I'm not a football player?
Yeah.
You're an amazing father. You're an amazing partner. You're an amazing friend. You're an amazing son. You're an amazing nephew. You're an amazing businessman. You work really hard. You're great in your community. You offer so much to the world around you. But football says, unless you're putting the ball in the back of the net, then maybe you're not quite as good as you need to be. Fuck that. Fuck that.
That's just how you're built. That's how you're built and you're programmed in that football world. Like, if you don't play well, you're nobody. Like, and it's a shame it's like that. Yeah, it really is, because every footballer I've met, they're top guys, like emotions, nice guys, but the public don't think that, do they? Sometimes it comes with a lot of obstacles, but we overcome them. And like I said, I'm in a good place now, which is good. I've got a nice family. I never want to play the victim, but I just wanted to get my story
that way at all. You didn't come across that way at all.
It's good. Like, people need to hear these things. You say, like, you've gone through something which is to anyone else is a traumatic thing. Like, when you were 24, 25, 26, you're still a kid. Like a kid, you've gone through kind of working at a little bit, but then you've gone into the world of football where you're still a kid, and you've had to deal with all these things yourself. You've had people you felt that would be there to look after you, your representatives, who have not helped you. So it's been
it was a lot. All people, literally. It was a lot. It was a lot.
Credit to you.
I learned. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate that. It was a lot. And it's obviously the first time I've ever told this. So I just hope that one thing I do want to say is any footballer out there right now, no matter what level you are at, you need to be learning and studying something on the side. 1,000,000%. We all think we're going to live this amazing, jolly career and retire at 35, but you are one injury, one setback away from it all going. So learn something on the side so you've got that backup plan in place.
It's really beautiful and it's really poignant. And I'm just conscious of the time, because this is what happens when you have amazing conversations. It flies by. But ironically, I'm going to just see if Craig has got something else, anything to ask you before we finish. But we weirdly have this thing at the end of every episode of the second series. It's so funny.
God.
We ask everyone at the end of every series. This is everyone so far, 5 other guests. What are you most proud of, other than kind of the thing you're known for, which is kind of football or becoming a parent? You're not allowed to say becoming a parent, because everyone's going to say that. You've already said yours was most proud of drinking 3 pints of piss at the bar. I heard you say that, when you killed the end of
The best thing about that was where and why it happened. And it was when Leicester won the champ. And the first thing was, you're a bit of a cannon, Blythe. And I went, go on, what you got? Drink our piss now for 500 quid. All right, sound.
Okay. Well, I'm not ending on that. No. I'm going to end on. Yeah. And so, but again, very good answer to our last question. Very different to the rest of the way we've done it.
I like it.
And if we don't have laughter in fucking life, what do we have? The ability to be able to take the fucking piss out of yourself and those around you is one of the most kind of wonderful kind of male things that we can do together. And we were at an event recently, and it's really important to do this, and it's also really important to check in on your mates as well, and we've been able to do a bit of both today, and that's been really beautiful. And I think you're doing great, and I'm really proud to have sat with you today and spent the day with you, and I've got so much to unpick when we go for dinner in a second. But what's next for you?
Yeah, so right now, I obviously becoming a dad 2.5 years ago. I was obviously in the fitness space with my wife, helping busy working mums, and that's going great. And I was like, what about the dads? What about the dads? That's not spoken about enough. I don't see anyone online that's known as the dad helper. So I was like, I'll be the dad helper. So I started that a few months ago, and now I'm training dads, as well as me and Holly are training mums with Team Fitty. I've set up one-to-ones training dads, and I feel like I can be a lot more relatable, because when you become a parent for the first time, it's by far the most challenging thing that you will ever face, hands down. Well, it was for me anyway, but also the best. Trying to look after your health and fitness whilst trying to look after a newborn is so hard. And I feel like I can be a little bit more relatable in that way. So yeah, me and Holly, we want to help the household, the mums and the dads, and that's what I'm doing now, and I'm loving it.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're doing what you're doing. Glad we spent this time today. I'm glad you're here.
Yeah. And pleasure to be here.
Make a difference by just being yourself.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
Thank you so much.
Lively, thank you very much.